available for like a week or so. So, first of all, I know
I really would wish people would stop dribbling, but it is what it is. It's practice.
You guys are going to ask, and I did think it was a flagrant foul. And our refing just needs to be better. And, it's tough. Obviously, the refs are in a really difficult spot. It's one of the hardest jobs in the world, in my opinion, is to make calls.
Look at that expression. This isn't someone just answering questions off the top of her head. This is someone who spent 7 straight days getting ready for this one moment. Caitlin Clark stepped up to the microphones for the first time since the Chindi Carter hit made headlines, and she knew exactly what was waiting for her. A room full of reporters hoping to twist one wrong word into a viral headline. But what happened next? It might be the smartest way anyone has ever handled a controversy in women's basketball. Here's why this matters. Clark wasn't even around when this whole thing exploded. The league had just bumped the foul up to a flagrant one. Twitter was melting down, and every reporter in Indiana walked in with one goal: get her to slip up, say something spicy, and keep the drama going for another week.
Ever winning. So I think for us, as the league's just got to do better protecting our players in that regard. I don't really think that it was up for debate. Obviously, it wasn't called in real time.
I actually appreciate her saying that, because of after Alyssa Thomas's, if I knee you to the groin and the refs don't see it, that I really knee you to the groin statement, which was the most wild way to frame it ever. The refs didn't see it, and the bench didn't see it. Yeah, because there was a scrum of people in the way, so they didn't see it. So did it really happen? It was the worst excuse ever. Alyssa Thomas is essentially.
Watch this moment closely. Yeah, I did think it was a flagrant foul, and honestly, our referees just need to step it up. Boom. She leads with the truth. No apology to Carter. No fake, both sides talk. Just a straight answer. Yes, that was flagrant. The league already confirmed it. The video shows it. Nothing to argue there. But then, watch the turn. She doesn't point fingers at Carter. She points at the system. This is smart, really smart. She's admitting what the whole world already saw, but she's not making it personal. No calls for suspensions. No demanding an apology. Instead, she says the refs missed it live, which is just a fact, and that the league needs better ways to catch these calls and protect players. That's criticism with no enemies. Accountability without blame. And here's the best part. Right after that, she defends the referees too. It's one of the toughest jobs out there. You're getting yelled at from every direction, all game long. She's not throwing officials under the bus. She's saying they're human, mistakes happen, but the league needs to give them better tools and more support to get it right.
They come after that, and as I've stood up here and said before, the harassment, the hate, none of that is okay. That goes for the opposing team we play, that goes for my teammates, that goes for my coaches. There should never be question of character. I've always stood up here and said that, and that's really what I believe. That's how I was raised. So, none of that is okay, and I don't want anybody to ever experience that. And I think it's difficult. I think a lot of people sometimes think I'm a robot. I'm not a robot. I have emotions. I have feelings, and it can be really difficult to go through a lot of that. And, I'm 24 years old trying to navigate a lot. And I think at times I've been in this world for 4 years now, and you would never change any of it. But there are times that it is hard, and there are times.
Now here's where the mask comes off. For the first time all season, Caitlin Clark admits it. The constant attention, the online hate, the drama that never seems to stop, it actually gets to her. I'm not a robot. I have emotions. I have feelings. And yeah, it can be really tough. Let that sink in. For months, people have used her calm attitude against her. They said, if she was really bothered, she'd say something. If the hate online was really that bad, she'd show it. Well, now she has. And she did it her way, on her own timing, not because some reporter baited her into it. I'm 24 years old, trying to figure a lot of this out. Think about that for a second. She's younger than most people finishing grad school, yet she's facing death threats, racist attacks aimed at her teammates, wild conspiracy theories, and this constant pressure to either save women's basketball single-handedly or take the blame for ruining it. And through all of that, she stayed so composed that people assumed none of it touched her. But here's the key part. She's not looking for sympathy. She's not playing the victim. She's just being honest. This is hard. It affects me more than people think. And I'm human. That's all. No tears. No big performance. Just the truth.
Her former teammate. This is the one when everyone had a real problem with it because they're like, look, this is your former teammate basically telling you to toughen up 4 days later. This is your former teammate. Like, that is when people were like, oh, this is getting bad, when not even your former teammate is going to come out to defend you. And if nothing else, they're telling you to toughen up. Chine basically is saying that it's not an unsportsmanlike foul, and her former teammate telling her to toughen up. Like, yeah, of course you mentioned that one. Because let's be real. There've been plenty of games since Sunday.
Instead, she fired back. When she turned on the TV that Sunday, one thing immediately stood out. The talk wasn't about the latest games. It was her former Iowa teammate speaking about Caitlin Clark. She wasn't blaming Kelsey Plum. Her real issue was with the media. Days had passed since the Chindi Carter incident, yet TV shows kept replaying the same comments instead of covering the exciting games happening around the league. That's what clearly frustrated her. The spotlight stayed on one old story because it created attention and brought in more clicks. She pointed out that broadcasters had many chances to discuss it, but they picked a game that had nothing to do with the Fever or the Sky. Once again, Caitlin Clark's name became the headline, and that's exactly what she was calling out.
Discussed it on TV, and I didn't know they were going to discuss it. I was just watching the other games because I try to watch as much as I can, and I honestly felt bad for the players that were playing in the games those days.
And the worst part about this is that, you know what happened Sunday? That's when Alyssa Thomas comes out and speaks and says all this thing, and you have to talk about it. Is that there are so many players in the league that want people to talk about their game, but there are a couple of players in the league, and the problem is that all these players, by the way, are older players that want the narrative hijack to get her out of the league. It's as simple as that. Like, let's be very clear.
Everyone keeps talking about the foul, but almost nobody is asking the bigger question. Why is one moment still leading every headline while the rest of the WNBA is being pushed into the background? That's exactly the point Caitlin Clark wanted people to hear, and she didn't hold anything back. Instead of focusing on one player, she challenged the entire media cycle. She explained that the real problem isn't just what happened on the court, it's what happened after. Days had already passed. New games had been played, playoff races had become even tighter, and several stars had delivered amazing performances. Yet the conversation kept returning to the same story. That, in her eyes, is doing the league a disservice. The WNBA is growing faster than ever. More fans are showing up. TV ratings continue to rise. Every week, different players are putting together incredible performances. Aya Wilson is putting together an MVP-level season. Breanna Stewart continues to lead by example. Sabrina Ionescu keeps making big plays. There are exciting stories across the entire league, but many of them are getting buried under non-stop controversy. Instead of breaking down great basketball, the discussion keeps shifting toward old headlines. Every debate becomes about who defended who stayed silent, or what another comment supposedly means. The actual game is no longer the main story. Clark made it clear that this doesn't only hurt her, it hurts every player in the league. She even admitted that she watches as many WNBA games as possible. But when she turns on a broadcast, she's often surprised by what she hears. Rather than talking about the players on the floor, the discussion jumps back to a controversy that happened several days earlier. That's the disconnect she wanted everyone to notice. The players are giving everything they have during the game, while the conversation keeps revolving around the same old drama. Fans tune in to watch basketball, but too often they end up hearing another debate about Caitlin Clark instead. According to Clark, that's not helping anyone. She believes the media has realized that controversy creates attention. More attention means more clicks, more views, and more reactions. As a result, one story gets stretched far beyond its original moment. Then she brought up another important example. Clark mentioned seeing a headline claiming that she wasn't enjoying the season and that she had become frustrated with the Indiana Fever. The problem? Nobody had actually asked her if she felt that way. That frustrated her more than the headline itself. She wasn't upset because someone criticized her basketball. She has never said players should be protected from criticism. If she has a bad game, misses shots, or turns the ball over too much, she believes those performances should be analyzed honestly. What she doesn't accept is people putting words in her mouth. Creating a story about someone's emotions without ever speaking to them only builds a false narrative. Once those headlines spread online, they quickly become accepted as fact, even when they aren't. That, Clark believes, is one of the biggest problems in today's sports coverage. She also recognized that covering the fever, when criticism turns into personal attacks, harassment, or endless assumptions about someone's character, the game itself starts disappearing. That's when she wants people to smile more, enjoy the competition, and remember why they fell in love with basketball in the first place. The league has too much talent to let every conversation become another social media battle. In many ways, her response showed maturity beyond her years. She addressed the hard questions without avoiding them. She condemned negativity without making herself the center of the story. She defended not only her teammates, but players across the entire league. Most importantly, instead of adding more drama, Caitlin Clark used her biggest moment to send a message that reached far beyond one game. She made one thing crystal clear: there is no place for hate. Whether it's aimed at opponents, teammates, coaches, or anyone else involved in the game. She believes personal attacks should never be part of sports. She isn't asking fans to defend her by tearing someone else down. She wants the focus to stay where it belongs, on basketball. That message matters because every word she says now carries enormous weight. She knows millions of people are listening, and she understands that one sentence can shape the conversation across the entire league. Behind the scenes, it's also clear that her team has handled this spotlight carefully. Instead of throwing her into every interview, they've been selective, making sure she's available without allowing every media appearance to turn into another controversy. That balance has made a difference. Many young stars have been overwhelmed by nonstop attention, with every comment becoming another headline. Clark's approach has been different. When she finally spoke, it didn't sound emotional or rushed. It sounded thoughtful, focused, and prepared. Just as importantly, notice what she refused to do. She never apologized for something she didn't cause. The foul happened, the officials reviewed it, and the decision was made. She didn't start the incident, and she didn't respond with anger. She simply got back up and kept playing. She also avoided turning the situation into a personal fight with other players. Instead of attacking people who criticized her, she shifted the conversation toward the bigger issue, the nonstop cycle of headlines that keeps feeding controversy instead of celebrating great basketball. That takes maturity. It's easy to fire back. It's much harder to stay calm when every word is being analyzed. Yet she managed to defend herself without attacking anyone else. She questioned the coverage, not the people. For a player still early in her professional career, that's an impressive way to handle enormous pressure. The bigger question, however, is whether anything will actually change. History suggests that controversy usually wins. Heated debates create clicks. Clicks create views. That's not helping the league grow. Stars across the WNBA are putting together outstanding seasons. Yet too often those performances become secondary to social media debates. Clark acknowledged that reality and reminded everyone that the league is much bigger than one player. The timing couldn't be more important either. With a break in the schedule approaching, the focus could easily stay trapped in old controversies. Instead, Clark has offered a different direction, one centered on exciting games, rising stars, playoff battles, and everything that makes basketball worth watching. Now the choice belongs to everyone else. Will the conversation finally move back to the court? Will the spotlight shift toward the athletes delivering incredible performances every single night? Or will another controversy once again steal the headlines? The next few weeks will answer that question. If you believe the game deserves to be the biggest story, let me know your thoughts in the comments. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like the video, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss the biggest stories from the world of basketball.